Okay, this video will demonstrate how to use a frame-by-frame animation technique to make a ball bounce up and down in Photoshop. All of the layers are set up in this project file. You can download this project file from the website or from the classwork assignment. When you open the Photoshop document called Ball Animation, it will show up like this. If you don't see your timeline window at the bottom, then you go to Window, and then you make sure Timeline is checked. So you can't see that in my video, but it's Window, and then make sure Timeline is checked. And you'll see Timeline down at the bottom. So what we have in our layers, everything has already been made for you. All you need to do is look at what's here. So right now we have a background layer that is locked, that is visible. We have a background layer that has the blue sky and the green grass on it. It's very simple, but it's visible. We have a ball layer that is not visible, and we have a ball squished layer that is not visible. So everything that is visible in your layers will show up in the frame that is selected on your timeline. So everything in animation that is separate and moves separately needs to be on a separate layer. So in this first frame, we want the ball to be squished and visible. So we're going to illustrate the principle of animation where it squashes and stretches. So in order to make the ball look like it actually bounces when it hits the ground, we're going to have it squished. So we're going to use ball squished, and we're going to make it visible, and you'll see it visible in your first frame. You just need to take your move tool and you need to move the ball to where you would like it to be. I like to put the ball in the grass, not on top of the horizon line, so it's a little bit more overlapping. So I put the ball in the middle, a little bit in the grass. Now your first frame is done. In order to duplicate your frame, in the timeline there is a little section underneath the frames with a duplicate icon with a plus sign with a square around it and a trash can next to it to delete frames. So we're going to use that plus sign icon to duplicate the frames. But now we're done with the ball squished, so we're going to make it invisible by going to the layers panel and clicking on this eyeball to make it invisible. So the eyeball will go away, and now we can't see the ball in this area. We are going to click on the ball layer and make the ball visible. And you want the ball to be in about the same place as the ball squished was. So if you want to turn them back on, you can line it back up so that you can see where they would be and then turn ball squished off. So the first frame, we have ball squished, visible, and the second frame, we have ball visible. Then we're going to duplicate our frame, and we're going to move the ball up. So I still have the ball layer selected. The third frame is selected. The move tool is selected. I can use my keyboard arrows, the up arrow, to move the ball up on the keyboard. I'm just going to move the ball up. Then I'm going to duplicate my frame again by clicking on the plus sign for new frame next to the trash can. And I'm going to move the ball, make sure you're on the right layer. Move the ball up. Then I'm going to click on the plus sign again and move the ball down. Plus sign again, move the ball down. Plus sign again, and you want the ball to be in about the same place as where the ball squished is. So I'm going to turn that back on so I can see. Yep, it's very close, so that should work. So this is frame 1 is selected, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, frame 5, frame 6, frame 7. and it will loop back to the beginning, because the looping, if you look at the bottom, there's a little play bar for playing the animation, and it's set to forever. So if I go to frame 1 and I hit play, I will see that my ball bounces and squishes and bounces and squishes, and it keeps looping back and forth. It is set at a certain time already. Mine is set to 0.01 seconds every time it does a new frame. If you want to change the time is underneath this little arrow, and you can change the time. So you can have no delay. 0.1 is pretty believable. If you put it at 10 seconds each frame, you're not going to be able to really notice the animation. So you can leave it at 0.1 seconds and push play. You'll have your ball bouncing. When you save this, it's important to put it back on the first frame. The first frame will be the frame that starts the animation. So you want the first selected frame to be the first frame. And then you go to File, Save As. First you save on your computer, you save the Photoshop document. And it's just going to be called your name and then ball animation assignment. You click Save. Then you're going to save the animation, which is going to be a GIF. So you go back up to the save, you go to File, but this time you're going to choose Export, Save for Web Legacy. So File, Export, Save for Web Legacy. You're going to make sure that the box is GIF, and you're going to click Save, and then you're going to save it as a GIF. So go ahead and save both, and then you will be able to see in your GIF preview if it is done correctly, if the ball is bouncing. That is it.